How you doing there? This is when I thought I could die at a show. That if I was to take one step in the wrong direction, that I was pretty sure I'm fucked. I'm not walking away from that mania that's taking place. It was December of 2000, I believe. Yeah, it was December of 2000. The Middle East in Cambridge, Massachusetts, downstairs. It was billed, I think, as a reunion, although I don't remember this band to officially have broken up. But I remember the singer at one point saying, "We haven't played in a year, a month, and a day." The band was Blood for Blood. That was my first time seeing them. Yeah, yes it was. And I don't know if I knew what I was getting myself into. The bill was pretty stacked. There were 10 bands on the bill that night, Blood for Blood headlining, but it wasn't during their set, interestingly enough, that I was in fear for my life, right? It wasn't during their set. It was the band right before them. The band was Diecast. And, I mean, it's a hardcore show. And this was a Boston hardcore show, too, which at the time had the reputation of being particularly violent and rowdy and dangerous. So I'm there. And I don't even want to say that it was a conscious decision to move like up front during Diecast's set. I might have even just gotten pushed up there. I mean, I don't know, I was fucking tiny back then, tiny now, and I couldn't, could hold my own. I sure as hell wasn't moshing or anything like that, but I wanted to see the show, though. I wanted to see Blood for Blood, and I liked Diecast at the time, too. So I'm pushed up at this point, close to the front. I'm on the edge of the pit, okay? And I didn't want to be there, but I was there. And it was during the song. I don't remember the name of the song. I can, sing it. It's that one that goes like, dun 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 dun. And then the singer is like, "Now is the time to..." I don't know. You probably know the song, But anyway, though, I just remember being there on the edge and watching these fucking animals, these big friggin' animal beastly men just going out of their goddamn minds. And there was no coordination or any sort of pretty choreography like we started to see in the years after that in the metalcore scene. It wasn't that, okay? These men owned that floor, and I'm pretty sure they all knew each other. And I'm watching it, and I'm like, if I get pushed out into that fucking melee, into that fuckery out there, I'm like, I'm not walking away from that. And this is something that I haven't touched upon yet, but I had it lined up for another video. But ain't nobody was gonna be picking me up back then. The culture back then just wasn't like that. Nowadays, and I heard this recently, I heard Jamie Hatebreed say it. And I heard other bands on this bill that I will review say it. It was, somebody falls, pick 'em up. Back then, fuck that, dude. Your death, okay, would have been cheered on, all right? It just was not this whole, if somebody falls, pick them up or anything like that. No, man, it just wasn't back then. If you couldn't stand yourself back up, fuck you then, all right? You stay down, you get your ass kicked, whatever. So there was, martial arts taking place, kicking, punching, sucking, no. But there was so much chaos in front of me, just so much chaos, man, absolute chaos. But I just remember thinking, I'm like, please God, do not let me fall, do not let me trip, don't let one of these fucking guys do that shit where they run back and forth and no, please don't let that happen to me. And it didn't. And it was another time, another show where I thought, I'm like, I could get seriously injured, I could die. Following year at the Worcester Palladium upstairs, it was headlined, but it was a weird show because it was mostly hardcore bands, but then Dying Fetus headlined it. I don't remember a ton of other metal bands on that bill, but I do remember Diecast played that. All Out War played it, who was another band from New York, very notorious for having, fit within that same scene. They could also play on the bill, as they probably did many times with Blood for Blood, Death Threat, Diecast, any of those bands. And Death Threat was on that bill too. So, but it wasn't during either of those bands that I remember being like, oh fuck. It was during 100 Demons. And I'm once again up at the front. How the fuck I got up there, I don't know. Maybe it was a conscious choice, being young, stupid, that type of thing. Looking back, I had no business being anywhere close to the front. But I remember distinctly there was a cop that was there, and you could see fear in his face too. This cop wanted none of it, man. He did not want to have anything to do with it. And you see these big fucking dudes there, and they could have kicked the cop's ass, man. Like, all it would have taken is like one of those guys to grab the cop. The rest of them would have jumped in, and that's kind of the way things were back then. I am sure they probably would have been afraid of getting arrested, but man, they would have had a story to go along with it. But I knew that when I saw the cop and he looked afraid, that I had reason to be too. But yeah, no, it was during 100 Demons. Only that, what is that album with the cross in the front, Name of Suffering, I think, in the Name of Suffering. No, that's Icon. God, man, what a blasphemous scene metal is. Whatever, man. But yeah, so that album was like the only one that was out at the time, and good album. I went out and bought it not long after that. I liked it a lot. Fuck, that was a tough band, man. Who's the singer? Bloodbath LePage or something like that. But had a very tough sounding voice, man. And yeah. So that bill was shaped by Diecast was on that bill. Death Threat was on that bill. Things got pretty fucking rowdy during their set too. I remember I was watching them from upstairs. From the balcony. And things got, as you would imagine, Death Threat. All Out War. Dying Fetus headlined it. I don't remember. And that was Eternal Suffering on that show too. They might have been. Yeah. If memory serves, they might have been one of the metal bands so it wasn't a complete hardcore show with Dying Fetus headlining. I think that Eternal Suffering played that show as well. But anyway, so yeah, that was two times, really. And I'm sure I could probably think of other shows I've been to where, all right, I did get knocked out at a show one time. It was Metal Fest in 2000, headlined by the Misfits. And Scarhead was on the main stage, and I knew Scarhead, but I didn't really listen to them all that much. They were a New York hardcore band, and my friend Adam, who's not with us any longer, Adam says, I want to go down to the pit. Let's go to the pit. Yeah, all right, cool, so do I. So I go with Adam. Then the next thing I know, I remember going to the pit, but then all of a sudden there's like a shift, lapse, something. At this point, I am now watching Scarhead, whereas a second before that, I was down on the floor standing, but now I'm watching them in like a seat. And the Palladium has got in the sort of like mezzanine section, there are tables. I am sitting down at a table and I'm watching them, and then all of a sudden it occurs to me, it's like, wait a minute, we're at Metal Fest. How did we get here? I'm like, where did I sleep last night? I got all these questions coming to mind, and I don't know why. I'm asking these questions, but I'm just very, very inquisitive. I'm very curious at that moment. So I turned to my friend Dan, and I'm like, how did we get here? Where did we sleep last night? Dan he's laughing because he thinks I'm joking. He's why are you asking these questions? I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, I can't tell you the answer to that either. He's like, what's wrong with you? I'm like, I don't know. I don't think there's anything wrong with me. I hope there's nothing wrong with me. And then I think it occurred to him. He's like, do you know what just happened? No, what? Something just happened? Yeah, he just got fucking knocked out. What? I get it. And then until he said that, I didn't realize it. But my jaw, like, wait a minute, why? And here's another question for you, Dan. Why does my jaw hurt like fuck right now? Yeah, you just got knocked out. Around this time, Adam comes back up. Maybe Scarhead was over at that point. And I hear Adam, he looks at Dan, he says, how's he doing? And Adam thinks, I'm like, fuck, man, I'm right here. Why didn't you just ask me? I think because they thought, and they were correct, that I was not able to give a coherent answer or, much of anything that made sense. Now, here's something fucked up about this, too. I'm talking to Adam, and he's like, do you know what happened? No, I don't. You just got knocked out. I think that I just caught a fist. It was not intentional. I just caught a fist. Somebody was doing that thing where you twirl around, and you go you just fucking, you're spinning your fists. You are spinning, you're bringing your fist with you, right? And I took something like that to the face. So Adam's like, hey, man, let's take you to the bar. Let's get you some water. Now, things are cloudy at this moment. Things are very cloudy. I cannot recall small things, where I stayed last night, how we got there. So we're up at the bar, and man, I'm telling you, and I think I'm probably wrong on this, but there's a guy, and he's got it's a fucking metal show, obviously. He's got this long, black, straight, kind of thin hair. He's also got a pretty scary looking face, and then he's got a goatee, and then he's talking to somebody, and he's got two fangs, okay? And I'm looking at the guy, I'm like, oh, fuck. I'm thinking, they're not on the bill, but is that Glenn Benton right there? And I'm just, wow, man. Deicide, very, scary, ferocious metal band and stuff. So here I am, and I think I see Glenn Benton over there. Oh, shit. What is he going to do? Is he going to curse me or something like that? Why the fuck would he care about me in the first place, To this day, I don't know if that was Glenn Benton. I don't know what reason he would have had to be there. Like I said, they were not on the bill. Deicide was not playing. If he was there, maybe he just wanted to see other bands. Was Vital Remains? No, I was gonna say it was Vital. It was there. He filled in for the Vital Remains singer for a little while, but it was not that period of time. Yeah, man. So that was. Metal shows are pretty violent, or at least they were. I know that people still pit because I've been going to a lot more of them recently. I've been going, and yeah, people still pit. Not to that degree, though. Not to the degree that they did 20, 25 years ago when pitting was it was that, but it was also I want to hurt somebody. I want to find somebody. I want to fucking hurt them. You know what I mean? I think it's changed for the better, honestly. I do. It's never a good thing when, somebody gets the shit beaten out of them at a show or injured or people have died at metal shows before. I mean, it's rare, but it's happened. Yeah, there was, we were supposed to go, I don't remember who was headlining it, but I remember we had tickets for, it was at the Middle East. I can't remember the kid's name. Danny Kanosian, and I don't remember much of the story, but he was, I think, maybe I'm going to leave this part out because I can't really remember many of the details, but it's very sad, and that's tragic, and so, yeah, man. Look out for yourself at metal shows, at hardcore shows. Thanks for watching. Maybe you give the video a like. Hopefully you subscribe, or just if you were at any of these shows, or if you've been to other shows where you had a similar experience, you're like, I'm gonna get my fucking ass ripped off or something, you know what I mean? If I step anywhere near that pit, let me know. I love hearing about this stuff. I love hearing about, that type of shit. You get the idea. Thanks very much for watching. And we'll see you.